we have proof and evidence God keeps his promise. And we only looked at 5 things. The proto-evangelium in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. We saw how he did it with Abraham. We saw how he did it with Moses. We saw how he did it with David. And we saw how he did it through Jeremiah, promising a better covenant, and how Christ fulfilled it. I'm sorry I'm stumbling over my words. I'm just super excited about all of this. But ultimately, and finally, I want to read to you from Acts chapter 1. And if you have an opportunity, turn to Acts chapter 1. We're going to look at verse 9 through 11. And after he gave those very last words of instructions to his disciples, he said this. And when he had said these things, Acts 1 verse 9, as they were looking on, he was lifted up, and a cloud took him out of their sight. Now I know the disciples had seen many unexplainable things in their lives. And those 11 guys were just standing there, I'm sure mouths open wide, staring into the heavens. Because verse 10 and 11 tell us, and while they were gazing into heaven as he went, behold, 2 men stood by them in white robes, most likely angels, messengers of God, and said, Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into heaven? This Jesus, who was taken up from you into heaven, will come in the same way as you saw him go into heaven. If God has kept his promises so far, in Genesis 3, to Abraham, to Moses, to David, to Jeremiah, do you think he's going to keep this promise? That Jesus is going to come back?